Hello, friends. Do I have a story for you? Why is that? Why is it that my life always turns out to be incredibly awkward? So, what happened is the following. There is a bar near my university here. That's called Norloa, which means come and play. And it sounds less skanky in Korean than it sounds in English. It's actually a really nice place. It's really chill, and I really enjoy going there. And basically, all of my friends and we always go there. Really chill bar. So there happens to be a cute waiter there who, I don't remember really noticing him, but then I was playing Truth or Dare with some friends, and somebody dared me to go and get his number. And so obviously I went and got his number because nobody specified how I should get his number. So I went and I said that, my friend is too shy, can I have your number? So he was like, oh, by chance is this a game? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, oh, okay, here's my number. And he typed a number in my phone. Didn't give me his name or anything. So I'm like, okay. And so I saved the number, obviously, to show my friends. And then the next day I was just like, for the heck of it, just texted him. And I was like, by the way, is this your real number? And he texted back and he was like, oh, are you the person who played the game yesterday? And I was like, yeah, ha ha ha. And then he didn't answer, so I was like, okay, whatever. So a while later, like a week or so later, maybe 2 weeks later, I went there again, and it was like a different kind of event where I think every Friday or something they have like other people coming in and waiting on you there, and they have like a different menu and stuff. So we went there and he wasn't there, and I was like, I didn't really think about it, but so we went there. And then on the way out, I was paying, and he was there. And then he was like, oh, it's you, and blah. And he was like, how old are you, by the way? And I was like, oh, I'm 92. And he was like, oh, you're 92? And then he goes, 네가 오빠야. Like, I'm your oppa. Which was kind of obvious because the guy looks a whole bunch older than me. But, I probably would have guessed him like 26. Okay, so I'm like, haha, okay, whatever, like, I don't know your name, but you're my oppa, okay, sure, fine, bye! So I left. The next time I came back, and I was like, this is really awkward because I don't even know his name, so I was like, what's your name? So he told me, but it was loud, so I'm not sure I understood, but I understood something like Tuan, but I was like, I'm not sure I understood properly. And then on that day, he came again, and he was like to the table, and he was like, by the way, do you like potatoes? And I was like, potatoes? And he was like, yeah. He was like, potato 좋아해? And I was like, potato? And so he said it again in Korean, like proper Korean, and I was like, yeah, I like potatoes, but why? And he was like, oh, I'll give you service. And he went back into the kitchen and got had them prepare, because it took a long time, had them prepare kind of fries kind of thing, and gave it to us for free. I was like, okay, you have to eat everything, okay? Don't leave any. And I was like, okay. And then, so that day we were going out, and he asked me, so what's your name? You asked mine, so I need to ask yours, right? So I told him, and then he was like, Juliana, 안녕, see you next time, and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then again the next day, I went there with a bunch of different people. A different bunch of people. And he was like, he made a point of coming over to me, okay? And going, oh, Juliana, 안녕? And I was like, okay, but I was like, oh, 안녕하세요, and whatever. And then, of course I'm nice to him. He's a waiter. And yes, I think he's cute. But still, he gave us service again. He gave us more free stuff. And then he was like, look at this picture of alcohol. When they make it in the kitchen, they leave a lot of space at the top. But when oppa makes it, he makes it really full. And I was like, thank you, and whatever. And he makes a point of being really nice to me. So I'm like, this guy is obviously flirting with me, right? I'm sorry, I know this is Korea, but it's gotta be kind of the same implications. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But, anyway, So then what happened was that a couple of days later, like 2 days later, I was there with the same group of people again. And it's like a pretty large group of people too. And he comes by, and one of my friends is like, okay, she's blonde. She's from the Netherlands. And she's like as European as you can get, like in terms of looks. And she doesn't speak Korean. So she's like, she looks at him and she goes like, I have a question. You know, if you have some time in like the next week or two, you should really hang out with us sometime. And he's like, oh? And he just looks at me like he has no idea what she said. And I said, 같이 놀자고 했어요. Which means she said we should play together. But that's how they like say it in Korean, like to hang out is kind of to play. But we were also playing a card game, a drinking game, so I think he misunderstood what I meant, and I think he thought that I said he should play with us now. And he looked at me and he's like, you know, I'm 32. And I was like, and he's like, yeah, I'm 32. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, I did not see that coming. I thought he was 26, 26 tops. But he's 32. And so he was like, but anyway, I'll give you service. And he, like, brought something else. And he, like, felt awkward about it, you know? It was kind of like, he appreciated that we were, like, inviting him and whatever. Okay, so then yesterday, I was like, you know, I like the guy. I don't have to date him, you know? But, like, I'm curious, like, what he does and stuff other than being a waiter. And so I texted him, because I still have his number, because I never throw things away. And I was like, Oppa, do you have Facebook? And he was like, who is this? And then I wrote back this morning saying, oh, I guess you didn't have my number, this is Juliana. So parallel to this, I have to say that last week, Wednesday, I had this random person on KakaoTalk, which is an application kind of like WhatsApp or something where you can like kind of text for free. It's a Korean app. And I had this random person write to me saying, who are you? And I was like, oh, this is Juliana, who are you? And the person was like, oh, are you a foreigner? And then like wouldn't tell me for the longest time like what his name was. Turns out he's a guy who's not a student. Didn't tell me where he works, though. Who's 33. Now, I learned this before I knew that the waiter was 32, as he told me, right? So we were, like, trying to figure out why we knew each other, and the person kept repeating, you just came out of my friend list. Like, not in people I might know, just like my friend list, regular friend list. And so it was really weird, but like I put it out of my mind for a while. Until this morning, where for some reason I was thinking about it again. And I was like, that's the connection. It's gotta be the waiter. The guy on KakaoTalk has got to be the waiter. And so I texted the KakaoTalk guy this morning as well, saying, look, I'm still trying to figure out why you appeared on my list. By chance, do you work in Sinchon? Which is like the area that we live in. I was like, you know, by any chance, do you work in Sinchon? The guy texts me back, the KakaoTalk guy, saying, I'm gonna block you. And I was like, wait, you're blocking me? What the fuck? I think he blocked me. And what the fuck? And the waiter didn't text back, so it's gotta be the same person. It's got to be the same person. It's just I feel really awkward about it. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So, I appreciate any comments you guys want to leave me on this. I feel very awkward. Especially because now my group of like people I hang out with has decided that they really like that bar. I really don't want to go back there now. But yeah. Story of my life. Yeah, please tell me I'm not the only person that this kind of stuff happens to, please. Also, small little interesting fact, Andy Kim texted me yesterday. I almost fell off my chair. But, yes. More on that some other time. It's nothing too interesting compared to the waiter story. I thought you'd enjoy that one, though. So, yeah, I'll keep you posted on how that turns out, if it turns out to be anything interesting. If not, it just makes a nice awkward story for my collection. Yeah, I feel really awkward in case you couldn't tell. Okay, I will talk to you later, and I hope you guys are doing well, and I miss you, and blah blah blah. Bye bye.